Live. Looking like we live. Peace. Yes, sir. Okay, welcome to the 33rd Universe episode. We about to kick it with my partners and my folks. Close the door. If you hungry for some knowledge, yeah, you got it. Here we go. For my leaders and my queens, we about to build on sex, though. We about to build on sex, man. Let's get this prop up. In the meantime, let's promote. Let's get into our ads. Today we are sponsored by Lo Solo Art. She has 2 new journals on her page. Check her out, losoloart.com. You have Spiritual Mirror Affirmation Journal, and then you have I Am the Center of My Own Peace. Those both are some great tools to utilize while you're on your spiritual walk. When you're in a spiritual place, you need to clear the mental block. Write it down, put it in a journal, get it out of your head so that new information can arrive and so that new space can be used. LoSoloArt.com. I'm very excited for her venture. She's got the books, she's got the art, and then she's definitely got the style, the charisma. So check her out, see what she's got going on over there. In the meantime, y'all, it's been getting real out there in the world. It's a whole lot of smoke screens, a whole lot of foolishness, a whole lot of bullshit going on. And I've been in the back, kicking it for a while. I've just been watching, paying attention. It's a whole lot to take in, so I haven't been going live. I ain't been doing none of that. I've been out here just learning and putting together some things. But the topic that I'm going to talk about tonight was important to me because I'm noticing more and more apparent usage of our energy, misuse of our energy, a lot of usurp of our energy. A lot of different entities are stealing our energy by trickery. They're teaching us the wrong ways of living, and then we take on those ways. We teach our children those ways, and these generational curses begin to inundate themselves into these family structures. So we talked about, a long time ago, we talked about how the CIA destroyed the black families. We talked about that in depth, me and my man, Track Savage, check that out. But what they do is, it's no longer a physical harnessing of power, which they do use that as well, but the attack is directly at a spiritual level. It's on a spiritual plane, and the spiritual frequency is being attacked. The essence of our spirituality has been snatched away from us. The origins of this spiritual walk and these spiritual teachings are no longer priority. We have a Western way of living, and we've been taught from so many different facets of the world we have been taught from so many facets of the world that have no interest in our gain. They only have an interest in controlling us. So when we put the perspective together, we understand that whatever they're teaching us in school, whatever they're teaching us on TV, whatever they're teaching us in social circles, all these different things become a hindrance because you understand that they do not want us to prosper, that the people in charge do not have the want for us to unify, to upgrade our lives. They want us to be controlled, manipulated, used, and abused. They want us to keep us in a chaotic state of mind so that they can do whatever they choose when they choose without having pushback, without having questioning, without having the intuition kick in and say, hey, that's not right. We shouldn't be doing this at all. What are we doing? So I just wanted to talk about sexual energy. I wanted us to build on the sexual energy, and I wanted us to speak on it on a spiritual plane, because that's the sexual energy is the essence of your special powers, or your creative powers, your freedom, your Kundalini, your chakra base is all tapped into this sexual energy on the spiritual level. So, okay, we have a sexual level frequent physically, and that's your reproductive organs, that's your body. Your body performs sexual acts based on the physicalities of it, but the mental controls the physical, and then the spiritual ultimately controls the core of it all, mental and physical. So as the spirit works, we will have to tap into different systems like the chakra systems and the auric fields, and we will have to learn the science or the natural law of the way these things work, so that we can utilize the sexual energy on a higher frequency, on a higher level. So just real quick, I got on the board right here, you got a auric field. That's the electromagnetic field that the avatar possesses. You see it goes around the body and it kind of protects it. So when you have a weak auric field, other spiritual fields can easily access yours and enhance, deplete, or just effect that full space. So if you can imagine, that field is very important. That field is something that you really need to keep in pure form, because that pure form will allow you to manifest the things that you need to, and that clear purity will allow pure manifestations to happen, instead of diluted ones, or even manifestations that come from being programmed by a song. So a certain song might be saying, suck my dick, suck my dick, suck my dick, and then you'll go out and you want your dick sucked. It's that simple. The programming of these songs have become overly sexualized, and the sexual essence has been ruined, because now the only thing that you're dealing with is the physical portion of sex, which is great. Everyone loves sex. That's cool. And we're not going to ruin sex by following some new protocol. We're just going to enhance the sexual experience with these protocols. So when you're dealing with only the physical portion of sex, you're looking at, let me find this quote. Okay, bam. That quote right there is cool. I like this. It says, when most people have sex, they use another person's body to masturbate. It's a lustful attraction that only fulfilling to the ego desires. This type of attraction loses its shine over time. If you want deep intimacy that continues to grow, there needs to be an integration of spiritual and emotional energy with the physical body. If there isn't a merging of hearts, it is merely two bodies rubbing against one another. And that type of essence is where we're at. We're at physical, lustful space, and that physical, lustful space keeps you only manifesting more lustful energy. So let's think about how sex works. he has sex with she, and they make another person, which is a very, very powerful sentiment. That's theory right there. Theory number one. So you have the physical, you make a baby. But the spiritual and the mental, you can't see what manifests quite as easily. You will have to dig a little deeper and kind of understand what was manifested on a spiritual level between you and this other person. Sometimes it can be for harm. It can harm your spiritual essence. It can harm that auric field, that field that we was just looking at. Let's go back. It could do harm to this field. It could make damage on this field, and it could put how would you say, like cracks and holes in this auric field. So now that your auric field is no longer strengthened, you are now subject to, just like a virus, you're subject to the attack. So we want to maintain a spiritual essence attached with the heart chakra, of course, and we want to act on these things physically through a spiritual mindset and portal. We want to have intention set when we even lay down and have sex with a partner. We want to have a manifestation in harmony type of thing. We want to be, hold on, let's see. We want to be joined as far as harmonizing. Energies harmonized as far as the way they go. And this is a cool little piece of artwork I seen. It's a figure eight of a man and a woman, and they connect at three different places, at the arms, the foot, and at the physical reproductive organs. So the harmony at which it is speaking about, it is using these fields right here. You're looking at all the energetic auric fields. And this book is, just in case y'all was wondering, I'm referencing The Subtle Body. It's an amazing book. It's by Sidney Dale, an encyclopedia of the energetic anatomy. Very, very good book. But if you peep this, you see the different hot spots as far as energy that can be received on a spiritual level, and it enters through those palms, those feet, and the crown. And then the chakra highway, I like to call it, is the colorful points in the middle. And those all are prominent energy sources, kind of like a toll bridge. So if you start at red and you go all the way up, you want to utilize that whole highway as an energy circuit to allow energy to flow naturally up and down that highway so that the frequencies can maintain on a balanced level. So the balance comes in when you begin to acknowledge these fields, and you begin to work on these fields, and you enhance them based on balancing yourself, getting yourself a good balance of each chakra essence. And each chakra essence, we can go over those real quick. You got the root down at the bottom. That's at the productive. That's at the bottom of the productive organs, and the root possesses the Kundalini. The Kundalini rests down there by the base of your what do you want to say? That's the gooch area is what you would call that shit. So right up under there you have the essence of the Kundalini that rests right there in the root. And then next up is orange. You have a sacral chakra. Then next up above that is your solar plexus chakra. Then your heart chakra. Then your throat chakra. Then your third eye chakra. And then your crown chakra. So all these are major energetic points that all govern different aspects of life and different aspects of the spirit, so that you can tap into the Godhood. And the 33rd is where you involve that crown, because the top of that chakra is the 33rd vertebrae of your spinal cord. So you physically want to allow that energy to capsulate to the crown and burst out the top of the head, and then you are completely connected spiritually, mentally, and physically. So this whole life, we're seeking to achieve that 33rd level. We're seeking to master our energetic levels. So our frequencies are very important up to us as a energetic being, because there's all these energetic levels that you have, like you see right here. So you got, I can't even see them, but if you see the inside, it's kind of like a, let me see if I get another picture. I got another one. Bam. Okay, cool. You see the auric field, and it goes all the way down. If you can read those, good for you, because I can barely see it. But all those fields are just examples of what surrounds the body and what type of energy the body gives off. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very imperative that we begin to increase the frequency and the ability to protect the energy that's inside. So that's just the breakdown as to how the body works on an energetic level. You know what I'm saying? And then, as we know, we're in a spiritual war coming up, and that's what this has all been about. The shots, the face mask, the fear, all of that. That's what this whole situation is about, to encapsulate the energy that they need so that they can move forward their agendas, so that they can enhance their agendas and keep oppression at its height, keep us oppressed, keep people with the intuitive soul that can naturally harness and protect the earth. They want to keep those beings at bay so that they can do what they want with their energy. So real quick, let's do some astrology research real quick. You got every planet, every energy, astrological energy involved in the body, and it mirrors the same as the universe would. So everything that the universe encapsulates, the human body, or let's say the non-ether body, has the same representation inside. So when you get to a point of the creative essence and the sexual essence, you have the sun, and the sun rises every day. Let's peep the game. The sun rises every day, and it shines light on everything in the world. And as it shines light on everything in the world, it creates because the sun it feeds everything, every living thing on this earth. So every living thing absorbs the sunlight's energy, and then it manifests and creates it on its own space on earth. So that's a powerful energy. So when we look at that powerful energy, we have the same ability inside of us. And that same ability, if you look directly at the Leo energy and the Leo essence, every person walking earth has a Leo energy, some more than others. Like for me, for example, I got Leo in the moon sign. So Leo in the moon sign, that's cool, but every person has Leo in their chart. So when you look at Leo and where it is in your chart, you see the sexual energy, aka the creative energy that you possess naturally. You're able to naturally enhance and access that energy. For example, let's use me for example. I got Leo in the third house. So if you look at the third house is Mercurial Gemini energy. So the talkative aspect, the social aspect, the various different locations aspect, those things I naturally tap into to utilize my creative space. Those things are what naturally are naturally at hand for me to use to create more, just like a Leo energy possesses. If you ever notice a sun sign Leo, they're pretty good at anything that they do. It's just that personification of the sun. They have the ability to do a lot of things very well, and the creative essence is there as well. If you notice, Leos are entertainers. Leos are musicians. Leos are sports specialists and players. Leos, they have a lot of space on TV or on that entertainment level. You know what I'm saying? So with that Leo energy, we want to learn how to transmute the sexual energy. We don't always want to use it to make a baby, because imagine if you made a baby every time you had sex. I'm not sure if that shit is going to be as important. So when I think of sex, you use the sex for more than just the physical essence. Of course, we're going to use sex for the baby, making a baby, having a baby. But we're also going to use the sex to transmute energy. And we're going to transmute that energy into a creative space that can create something that will manifest from spirit to physical. Anything. For example, a new home, a new car, a new lease on life, whatever. So you would begin to practice using this sexual essence as such, as a weapon to create, and not just to entertain your body, and not just to chase a quote unquote nut and get a nut off. Because ultimately, anytime that you're horny or you're having a like pent up sexual energy, aggression, how people say I'm sexually backed up. All that means is all that energy is stuck in the root chakra, maybe in the sacral chakra too, but it's stuck in one of those lower chakra fields. Let's go back over here. It's stuck in one of those lower chakra fields, and what it's trying to do is it's trying to rise. It's trying to rise. So when you get horny, the Kundalini is trying to rise through these chakras, and it needs some assistance. So the assistance is important. You're going to need to assist that sexual energy to come up, high as it needs to be, and for whatever purpose it needs to be. You might stop it at the heart chakra, and then you might transmute it into a loved one that you really care about, who needs some good energy to pick them up. Or you might allow that sexual energy to reach your throat chakra. And once it reaches your throat chakra, you can harness that creativity, and you can use it for making a cool song. You can use it for teaching your friends and family, making a Instagram live. You know what I'm saying? That sexual energy comes from the root. It's tapped into a higher frequency. So now you can rhyme words over a beat, or you can rhyme words singing it in a harmony over a beat that sounds great. You know what I'm saying? So you might have to stop your sexual energy in your solar plexus so that you can tap into whatever energy that your ancestors have encapsulated you with, and they can reach you directly through that solar plexus. So now you're coming up with creative ways to build your altar. Now you're coming up with creative ways to respond or listen for your ancestors. So every one of these chakras have major energy fields, and it's up to you to gauge that Kundalini up and down the highway, and then once you get to whatever dial that you need, you encapsulate that energy, transmute it, and anytime I say transmute, all I'm saying is you're utilizing that physical feeling that you feel to have sex with someone. That sexual feeling can transmute, which means that same energy that's inside of that auric field right there can be changed over into something else useful. Like I said, if you reach all the way up to the throat chakra with your sexual energy, you can reach capacities of creative space. Let's say this. Jay-Z transmutes his sexual energy all the way up to his throat chakra so that he can rap the verses that he has made millions off of. That's what you call an alchemical process. The alchemist, he creates something from nothing, because that something is always being created down in that Kundalini, and it rests there. That creative energy rests right there, and you're going to use that up and down your highway track to access this energy. So, how to harness this energy and how to practice utilizing this energy. You're doing simple things like meditation. You're doing simple things like breath work. You're doing simple things like tantra, which is sex with another person, and different poses. You're doing things like yoga. You know what I'm saying? All these different things allow you to practice that, using and controlling that spiritual energy. So let's real quick, let's go into a breath work exercise. Something quick, something small and easy. So, hope y'all can hear me. But we got your diaphragm all right here, right? So you want to hold your body straight anytime you're using these breath work exercises, or you're doing these meditation exercises. You're going to allow for this full spinal essence to be relaxed but straight up and down, so that the energy can relieve itself easily. So what you're going to do is you're going to always breathe in through your nose, and what this does is it sends the air straight to the brain, and it allows the brain and the pineal to activate. As you do that, you're filling up the stomach. So when you're pulling that air in through your nose, you're seeing this stomach fill up a little. And a basic breath work, you can do 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Let's just do 3 or 5 seconds to start off practicing. And what you're doing is 3 seconds and then out. 3 seconds. So if you notice, I'm out of my mouth, and I deplete all this air and I allow it all to come out of my mouth. So what we're doing is channeling air in the nose down this chakra highway all the way down to this Kundalini where it's resting. You're going to stir it up, stir that breath up, then you're going to flush that breath back out of the mouth. And you're going to repeat these practices so that the air can begin to rotate. And it's kind of like turning an engine over on a car. You're just rotating and rotating and rotating and rotating. And eventually you spark the Kundalini to begin to rise. And once it rises, you keep rotating. You keep rotating. And as it rises, like I said, you're able to reach different heights of your chakra body with that Kundalini. And that Kundalini can now be used for something more than a physical sexual act. You know, it can be used more than something lower level. You can have those higher frequencies to tap in. So let's do a few breaths in and out. So you're gonna start like this. This is basics for root chakra stuff. So we'll touch our thumbs with our pointer finger, plasma to the water. So we breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And like that, you're going to repetitiously breathe in and out. And you're going to allow all those auric fields to tap into this spirit. This spirit can access different levels of energy and different levels of intuition, if you will. So a lot of times you have different reasons for going into meditation. Sometimes you're trying to transmute energy. Sometimes you're going in with a question that you want to answer to. Sometimes you're just going in just to slow the energetic body down, and you're going in to do breath work, to breathe, because you don't want that energetic body to be too far mentally in the next day or in the future. Because if the mental thinks too far into the future and it begins to worry about how am I going to do this, how am I going to do that, how am I going to do that, it begins to raise the heartbeat and the anxiety starts to kick in. And vice versa. If I'm steadily thinking about, damn, I wish I had did this right when I was 16, I wish I had did this right when I was 25, you begin to slow the heart rate because you're thinking of things that you cannot change and you're never going to go back to, and it puts you in a depressive state. And anxiety and depression are not good for the subtle body to harness and control that Kundalini and that creative force. So you want to always work on breath work. You always want to meditate. You want to do some yoga, get into some tantra. So tantra could be you and your spouse or your partner. You are having intercourse, and instead of just humping physically, you might be in hold of a position, and you're both breathing the same breaths in and out at the same moments. And what that does, it syncs the two energies in the two bodies into harmony, because the two breaths are receiving the same capacity of energy, and it is rising at the same heights. So they begin to harmonize. And these type of sexual acts are very, very interesting due to the fact that the energies become more powerful. We might think that having sex, on a physical level, looking at physical space is the ultimate thing, because that's what we were taught. We were taught to watch porn and all these different facets of being. But the sexual encounter can be a lot more. You can have orgasms in the heart and the solar plexus, and instead of having root orgasms. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that you want to tap into to harness and protect the sexual energy. What we got? I think we got everything pretty much covered. But that's how the sexual energy is encapsulated. That's how the sexual energy is used and practiced with. If you notice, pornography is very, very popular, and if you notice, pornography is used to deplete this sexual energy from being at a higher frequency. Because if you have that Kundalini energy down at the bottom and you deplete it on the root level, which means you might bust a nut, quote unquote. You release semen, however you want to look at it. Those energies have not even touched any of those energies up at the top. It goes to the root and straight out and down. So that's just wasted energy, wasted creative energy. Every time you release semen, there's millions of, hundreds of thousands of sperm cells. All those have the potential to create a human or a person. And metaphysically, each one of those have the energy to create or manifest something as well, something else as well. So you have to look deeper than just physical and look what's behind or what's available on the metaphysical or the esoteric side. So when people engage in porn, you have the energy being usurped and wasted. So of course they're gonna have porn on internet, on the phone, on whatever, and they're gonna also teach you the wrong ways of even having sexual intercourse. So that's twofold. Twofold. They got the energy usurped from the root chakra, the semen being released every time you watch porn and chase a nut, and then also they're teaching you different programming. They're showing you interracial relations, knowing that as a black melanated man, you should not be sexually relating to anything else other than that, because knowing that the non-etheric body has the connotation of God body, anything that you have sex with that is not the same will only lower the frequency. You know what I'm saying? So you will have to really, really pay attention to what goes on in those pockets, because the pornography is one major way of depleting our energy. And then you have these shows on YouTube, these girls talking about sex and all these different raunchy, sexual talks, and it only promotes the lower level sexual space. You know what I'm saying? So we want to access our sexual space in a different light. We don't want so much of the physical to take over us when we talk about sex. We want to incorporate some other facets of the puzzle so that you can fully utilize your sexual energy and you can fully take advantage of the alchemical abilities. You're able to produce, create, and accentuate a lot of things in your life if you only knew how to harness that sexual energy. So represent yourself sexually in a sound space. You have physical, spirit, and mental. All three of those things are incorporated into your sex. And you should have the Holy Trinity. It should all be one. And personally, if you ain't incorporating them three things in your sexual life, you ain't got no good sex anyway. Because it takes all three of those to encapsulate and, give the ecstasy feel. It has to be a mental stimulation. There has to be, of course, the physical stimulation, and then the spiritual connection. That means y'all were meant to be having sexual relations. That means that the act of sex is a spiritual and sacred bond between you and her, or her and him, and now you utilizing that as a harmony for a manifestation. But that's what it is, man. I appreciate anyone that checked me out, watch me. I got my videos on YouTube. More Dreams is my channel. Tap in, like, subscribe, view, share, all that good stuff. Y'all have a blessed day. Today's Sunday. Sunday it's Leo Day. Go out and create something today. I created a live video so that I can help my team and my family and my people understand the sexual energy. I noticed Hood Mystic did a live on sexual energy. I didn't see it because I was doing a live on sexual energy as well, but I'm sure it's boss, and I'm sure it's got some way deeper esoteric stuff involved. So check Hood Mystic out. Get that Subtle Body book. And that's it. LoSoloArt.com. Check her art out. Get her books, her affirmation books. Those are on sale right now. You go to her website, or you can look it up on Amazon. Right there. Check them out. I am the center of my own peace. And then you have a mirror, a spiritual mirror, I'm sorry. Those two are available now. But until then, y'all be blessed. Love y'all. Thank you for watching. See y'all next time.